afternoon, my name is Liam Neild and this is the MU Review, the place where I talk all things Manchester United in the world of football. Today I'm here to review Manchester United's 2-1 defeat at Hull City in the second leg of our EFL Cup semi-final tie, which we did win 3-2 on aggregate, and my word, that was a shit game of football. I'm honestly going to be shocked if I get a single view on this video, because I don't know who would want to watch the highlights of that, let alone watch somebody talking about that. It was. I'm getting this video out as quickly as possible just so I don't have to think about this game ever again. We lost the match, obviously. Lost our unbeaten run, which is fantastic. Not that it really counts for much, but you know, it was a nice thing to have, and that's gone now for no real reason. It was a really, really poor performance from a good team, from a strong team. You know, a team that you'd expect to roll out in a Premier League game. And we've got a lot to sort out before we actually play Hull at Old Trafford in the Premier League on Wednesday. But that being said, you know, Hull took the lead, got a penalty. Thought it was a bit of a soft decision personally, but I'm just going to leave that alone. Like I'm a manager who's going to get, you know, persecuted by the FA if I say anything. I'm just going to leave that one alone. I won't leave the other one alone. You know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, Hull take the lead. You're sort of thinking, whatever. Terrible first half. Mourinho will get into them at half time. And he did to an extent. We played better in the second half. We got outplayed in the first half, let's be honest. So we played better in the second half. We're completely denied a Stonewall penalty. Obviously, the referee didn't have the best of views of it. And I guess this is a justification, dare I say it, for Michel Platini, or was it Sepp Blatter, who wanted to introduce the 5th and 6th officials that you see, you know, toting around the Champions League on the touchlines. That would have been a perfect, really perfect moment to have one of those officials. Obviously, you can't justify them having them in most games because most of the time the referees are, you know, well positioned enough to see that sort of thing, or at least the linesmen are. But for when the referees fuck up, like they did today, it would have been nice to have another referee there to not fuck up and look at that and say that's a penalty. Because it was a blatant penalty. Replays showed it. I don't care what anybody has to say about Smalling going down easily. He was impeded in the box. It's a penalty. Regardless, we equalised. Very good work from Marcus Rashford, who's probably my man of the match. Full of energy. Him and Jesse Lingard ran the wings. Probably the only two good performances, or at least notable performances in the team today. Pogba side foot home nicely. I saw a nice quote on Twitter, as if from Adam Sweeney, I think it was, at full-time levels, who said Pogba playing really terribly and scoring a goal is about the opposite of what he's done all season, and I couldn't agree more. It's been fantastic all season, in most games I'd have to say. He's not scored many goals, but he's been getting crucified for being terrible by the media and by social media mostly. Most of the actual media haven't been giving him too much stick, not as much as, you know, Liverpool fans, for example. Whereas tonight, I would be the first person to say he had a terrible game, and yet he scored the goal that ultimately, if you look at it, won us the tie. We won 3-2 overall. So it is a bit ironic that the whole fans were singing what a waste of money, despite the fact that he did score the goal, which knocked him out of the cup. So anyway, there's a whole lot to unpack there. I'm not going to go into it. Point being, we need to get ourselves back into gear. With 3 games without a win now, 2 1-1 draws, and now a defeat away at Hull. Luckily, we've got another buffer before our next Premier League game. We're playing Wigan in the FA Cup, which will probably be a very heavily rotated team, so it'll be difficult to derive anything from that. But we then go again with Hull 6 days from now in the Premier League at Old Trafford, and we need to be worlds better than that, because this whole team looks well drilled. They look like they stand a chance at least of staying up, which they didn't before they got their new manager in. So we can't take them lightly. We've got to get our players performing, we've got to get everything going again. And we've got to get back into the winning ways, because if we don't, we're just going to meander through the rest of the season like we did last year. And I don't want a repeat of last year. I mean, the FA Cup was nice and all, but like, can we get top 4, please? That would be nice. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, comment if you've got anything to say to me about the game or about anything in general. Subscribe if you want to make my day. Have a good one. See you next time.